I've got a multitude of movies playing here tonight. Dolby stereo. I've kind of decided now the 4K UHD buying now is going to go on a very, very, very low tiny percentage. I mean, I usually down to about 1% of buying it maybe for a year, and that's tiny compared to everyone else that buy UHDs like 10 or 20 of them per week. You know, that's hundreds. You know, for rubbish that has got hyped up colouring, looks plastic like with DNR, or it's got some rubbish Dolby Atmos upmix, or it's got a native Atmos mix that's still absolutely rubbish. An Atmos mix, you think it's all different with the front channel, the bed channels. You know that's a bed that you sleep on, and then you get the flying objects. You know, like coffee pots flying around, you know, if it's poltergeist. Yeah, I'm set this now to 6-channel mode. So so just have it on that mode now. I might occasionally want to play a Matrix bat surround there, but I could actually wire in the other SA10 if I wanted to, because that could do a few things that I don't think a Trinov can even do. So it's finding rack space really, or modifying the rack. But I've had enough of this bullshit Atmos, and Aura 3D's a load of rubbish. Total load of rubbish. It's not an opinion, it is totally rubbish. Particularly every time you pause the movie and you can hear this echo reverberation effect suddenly, like an echo delay, because I can hear where the other channels are stopping, and where the overhead, it's got some like echo delay effect on it, and it is distracting. And that's with a native, you know, whether you use it native or as an upmixer on top of an Atmos encoded film mix. But you shouldn't use an upmixer on films like, otherwise you cause audio frequency masking, particularly on the overheads, and then you wouldn't be able to hear what detail there is if you don't know how to balance your system, specifically, say, for a specific movie playback. Yeah, because all mix levels, you can have the whole system set up spot on, and then you play a movie, and yet I watch the mix levels, and I can see that, oh right, these levels are really up here. This is mostly bed channels, and the ones down here are wired this bit weirdly. Putting my left center, right center down here when I put them back up here, because these channels here and here that are not on at the moment, that's when my back's around. But as long as I've got a VU meter and I've got a display, I can see the levels, and I think, yeah. And then I've got to take readjust the levels until it's balanced, and do a little balancing and such, and until it's balanced, and then it sounds pretty damn good on decent native mixes, not these rubbish ones, or rubbish mixes. But I've had enough of it now, so you know, I think let's just go back to Dolby Stereo day. You know, Dolby Stereo, because that's always been good listening. That's always been pretty decent good listening, that has. So I've got 2010 on there.
What have you found out about? Nothing.
We're killjoy tonight, aren't you?
Got poltergeist there.
Somewhere in this building?
It's locked at night. 356.
But that's only going through Matrix, you know. If I want to go discreet.
Computer on board the Discovery, the Hell 9000. Can it be reactivated? Yes. By us? By you? It'll take 3 to 4 months. You're not familiar with the system. And longer than that to comprehend the data. I thought so.
So that's playing discreet at the moment.
Here we have
That's on auxiliary number 1. If I want to switch back to auxiliary if I want to switch to auxiliary 2, I've got to change the formatting on the CP200. This is my remote hand. There we go. Oh, and that on there. There we go.
I'm pretty good. A Russian craft flown by Russians, carrying a few poor Americans who need our help. That also doesn't look too bad on the front page of Pravda. I don't know if I could convince our people. They wouldn't mind seeing you go up and fail. They wouldn't mind that at all.
This is a DVD. It's not the it's not the rubbish Blu-ray version that's encoded 16:9 high definition and tarting up the colouring a little bit and with a botched 6-track mix. The Blu-ray has got a very, very poorly botched. Whoever the re-recording mixer was, that tampered with the original film mix. You know, I don't really give a damn about Academy Awards anymore, or Oscar nominated this or won or who what lost. This was nominated for best sound, but whoever butchered it on for Blu-ray needs their pants pulled down and their arse spanked. So I gotta go for the DVD, which has the proper sound mix. I was kind of doing a THX tap on it earlier. THX tap, you know, tap because it's shrouded in dark and mystery, you know, theatre alignment program. Tap. Tap. So kind of trying to warm up the bass more and experiment with the LCR. So if I just turn the surrounds off, mute stage left and right, so only the centre's playing. So you hear that dun 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 with a bit of, you know, solo in the background. But most of the deep bass is playing on stage left and right. But what the remix did, whoever did it, it's taken that kind of like very easy in mixing terms, is like the phantom center, right? Putting a decoder in between, or taking the center phantom signal out of the left and right and stuffing it on top of the center discrete. Thus, it's going to cause like dun dun dun, those bits of timpani, that bit of timpani there, it's going to get frequency masked. And adding more of the insult to the injury, taking all that bass from the stage left and right and putting it on top of the LFE. So the LFE is continuously constant, and you wouldn't be able to tell what is the true discrete baby boom signal. And more the insult to the injury, the surrounds, the mono surround, were faked in a stereo. So it's like, again, taking the signal from the left and right, but passing it through what sounded like going through some sort of PL2X or PL2X, yeah, filtering, on using one of the sound channel outputs. Because if anyone knows how a PL2X works, you get the front left and right, and then you got the side surround, and then you got the rear back surround output. And if you play a 424 matrix into it, a Dolby Stereo 424, you're going to get like a surround effect going out into it, what was originally there. But the surrounds sound like a stereo. Fake synthetic stereo, and it is bloody distracting. And that sounds like what they probably used. They probably had a plug-in on their Pro Tools and then put the signal through and then create a fake stereo surround on the Blu-ray. So, as for the aspect ratio, not a problem.
Loose ends, yeah, thank you. A good number of questions have remained unanswered.
Not a problem.
You just read that report? Took you this long to steal our secrets? How long does it take for your people to...
I'd rather play this version because this version's more kind of going to be true close to. Plus the early DVD versions didn't have too much of this near-field mixing nonsense. And most people would bitch and moan and complain that it's too damn loud. Well, if you haven't got an elaborate system, you ain't going to be able to modify it to make it fit within the room. And then all your bitching and moaning's all in vain, because now you end up with near-field rubbish mixes that are garbage. This, way better.
Why don't you just try saying what's on your mind? I want to play a game with you, Dr. Floyd. I don't have any
and of
time for
course,
games. This is a good game.
fit in the dynamics of a movie. Because a movie will play in many size auditoriums and all the levels are set differently. Usually you would see a CP200 in a large premiere-sized cinema, or maybe a 400-500 seats auditorium. That is where you would see a CP200. Usually never in a home, except for mine, and I think a few other people that will remain anonymous. Yeah.
Will reach discovery almost a year before you people are ready. My government feels it's very important that we should get there first. It's a distinction that will look splendid on the front page of Prouder. What other value it has, I don't know. 1 minute 10. Why are you telling me this?
And to, like say, 2010, 1984 would have been part of the THX tap program. There's a website that still has all the data to show all the THX tap releases.
Scientists, you and I, Dr. Floyd, our governments are enemies. We're not. Why don't you just try saying what's on your mind? I want to play a game with you, Dr. Floyd. I don't have any time for games. This is a good game. It's called The Truth. For 2 minutes, I will tell only the truth. And so will you.